Alright, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video I am going to be showcasing the Razer Stream controller. I picked this up from Amazon and I can't believe how powerful this little unit really is. It really blows my mind how much you could do with it. So yeah, I'm just going to be showcasing how I set it up. Not really how I set it up, but what the functions it could do. It could really do just about anything you want it to do. And you don't only need to use it for Microsoft Flight Sim. You could use it for literally anything. You could use it for your PC, for gaming, for video editing, photo editing, Microsoft Flight Simulator, any racing simulator you have, farm simulator, anything you really want. It's so versatile and it has so much power packed in a little package like this. Basically, it's exactly like the Loop Deck Live, but the Loop Deck Live is pretty pricey. So this is like literally the next best thing, and they actually are a part of Loop Deck, or Razer works with them or is partners with them. So you actually use the Loop Deck software also. And I can make another video on that, and I can make a video on how I set everything up. If you are interested, just leave it in the comments below. But today we're going to be flying in the Fenix A320, and we're going to do a quick flight from Phoenix in Sky Harbor to McCarran International, Las Vegas. So let's just go ahead and jump right in and show you what it could do. So as you see, we are in the cockpit right now. This is the Phoenix. It's cold and dark. Let's just go ahead and show you the overhead panel. So that's the overhead panel. And as you see right here on the little Razer Stream controller, I have it set up like this. So the profile's home. If I hit that, I can actually just switch between all my different planes that I have so far. So far, I've only really built the Phoenix, and I'm working on the Cessna G1000 to program every single button on the G1000, as well as inside the cockpit. The cockpit's pretty much done. I have all the buttons set up, all the lights, all the overhead panel lights, cabin lights, magnetos, whatever there is, avionics bus, master bus, things like that. But I am still working on the entire G1000, so you do not need to use your mouse at all. You can use everything from this little device. But today we're going to be doing the Phoenix, so I'm going to click the Phoenix. So as you see on my first page, so down here is this home page, and then all of these, you can set these buttons up to be whatever you want. I set them up to jump through my pages, but you can also use your dials to jump through pages. You can program the dials to be a click button, so you can push them down, or you can use the rotary knob. I have them set as a rotary knob, and I have them set as the push for my autopilot, and I have a button set up as a pull for my autopilot. Again, this is very, very versatile. You can literally do whatever you want. But I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I set mine up so far. I'm still working on the Phoenix one just because, there's so much to do. But the best thing I love about this is that you can completely control your autopilot FCU just with this. You can also set this up to completely control your McDo, your MCDU, if you wanted to set it up like that. I haven't done that yet. I will be working on that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start. So as you see right there, external power, it says available on our screen right here. So we're going to go ahead and just hit external power. And as you see, it turned on our external power. Everything's on. Now we can go ahead and the light switched to on, and I can actually switch my battery 1. So my battery 1 now is on. Switch my battery 2. Battery 2 is now on. Go ahead, turn my crew supply on. So crew supply turned on, and also turn on my ground control. So now my ground control is on, and I have the button that says on. So this did take me a while to set it all up like this, but I couldn't be more happy with how it turned out. So next we'll jump to our next page. So we can align our ADIRS. So I set it up in order, but it's going to go 1, 3, 2. So if you click this, it switched to nav, and up here it switched to nav. Then you click this one, it switched to nav, and it switched to nav on the screen. And then you switch nav there, and it switched to nav there. So now it's aligning our ADIRS. After that, I have my light switches set up. So I have my nav logo light. So we'll go ahead and switch that on. So our nav logo light switched on. I have my wing light. Go ahead and switch that on. Wing light switched on right here. And the switches go up. And we'll just leave that for now. Now we'll go to the next page. So now we have our seat belts. So go ahead and turn on our seat belts. So our seatbelt light just turned on, and the switch popped up, and the switch popped up here. No smoking. Go ahead and set that to auto. This is the only one I still need to work on right here, but emergency exit, you got to tap it twice. I got to figure out the command for it, but you tap it twice and it goes all the way to on. But I'm going to set it to where it's just on arm and where the switch actually stays. So once we do that, we can go ahead and turn on our APU. So of course this isn't the order you would do it in, but I'm just going to do it just for demonstration purposes. Right now I would be setting up the flight plan and my McDo and setting all that up, but I just want to show you how this works. So now I'm going to turn on the APU master switch. So APU master switch turned on, and as you see right there, it says on, and it says on right there. Go ahead, turn on our APU bleed. It says on, turned on right there. And before we start it, we're going to go ahead and turn on our fuel. So these are our center tanks, left tanks, right tanks. So go ahead and turn that on. Oh, did not click it. So on, so it turned off the center tank right there. Turn right there, turned off that center tank. Left tank pumps, turned it off. Left tank pump, turn that one off. Right tank pumps, we're going to go ahead and turn that one off and turn that one off. Alright, so all our tanks are available, and as you see, the lights are off there and the lights are off there. So now we'll go back and we'll hit the start button right here. So at the bottom, you can see it says start. Go ahead, hit start. The light turned on there and it says start there. So we'll wait until it says available, and then we will go ahead and jump in and turn on our engines. But for now, while that's starting up, we can go ahead and turn on our beacon lights. So we'll click that beacon, and now our beacon light switched on and the switch flipped up right there. And we will go back to our APU page.
Captain, we are ready for push.
So now our APU says available right there. So that means our APU has started up. So we can go ahead and turn off our external power. So we go back to the home page. External power is right there on the screen. We're going to go ahead and hit this button right here. So our external power is now off, and we are just using our
bypass pin inserted.
Our APU right now. So now after that, we can go ahead and turn on our engines. So let's go ahead and switch down. So as you see, these are just other, if you want to do your dome lights, you want to test your engines, things like that. Anti-ice right there. I got to create new buttons for that. I don't like the way those buttons look. Alright, so another thing, like I said, this is very, very powerful. So if you wanted to get your squawk code, you can click that, and now we have a page. We can actually clear our squawk code. So if you see right here, 2000, we can go ahead and hit clear. And now let's say they gave us a new squawk code. We'll just use 2000 again, but you can use any one of these keypads. So you can type in 2000, and as you see right there, it just popped in. And then if we want to go ahead and turn it on, we can click that button, and then TARA, you can go ahead and click that. And as you saw, it went to TARA, turned on right there. So now our TCAS is set up. So now we'll come back here. Now we can start our engines. We'll go ahead and click this crank starter button. And as you see right in the middle, the engine mode went to ignition start. And now this is on 2-button press. I got to switch it to 1-button press, but we go engine, engine, engine left 2, engine 2 left or right started up. So as you see right there, it popped up just by pressing that button right here. Alright, so now we had engine 2 start, we can go ahead and click engine 1. So engine 1 now is starting up. As you see right there, engine 1 is good to go. Alright, so now that our engines have started, we can go ahead and turn off our APU. So we'll go ahead and turn off our APU bleed. APU bleeds off, and we'll turn off our master switch. Alright, so now that's all off. Everything has been aligned. We can go ahead and go back here. We got our tug set up. We are going to go ahead and release our parking brake. So our parking brake's right there. We'll go ahead and click parking brake. So now our parking brake has been released. So we have reached the runway now. As you see, we're right there lined up with the runway. Everything is set. Everything is going good. This is the best part that I love about this little device. Again, you can control everything in your autopilot. I haven't set up all these knobs that you see. So we'll go ahead and switch cameras. So I haven't set up the flight plan, arc, nav, rose, compass thing yet, or the distance. I haven't set that up. I haven't set up these buttons yet, but I will. I have set up the constraint button, the LS button, auto throttle, autopilot, approach, the stuff that I use the most, altitude. I can spin the wheel with these knobs right here. I can also change whether I want to do 100 or 1,000 feet increments. I have the push-pull set up, push-pull set up, push-pull set up for the speed, and also have vertical speed push-pull setup, as well as being able to change it. I can also do the Q&H. So let's go ahead and look at see what the Q&H is here in Phoenix. So we'll click flight. So it's 3003. So again, and I have it set up to where it does the pilot and co-pilot at the same time. So we'll go ahead and go to STD right here, and we can go ahead and turn it. So as you see right there on the top left and top right, it is actually turning as I turn my knob. So we're going to go to 3003. So that's set up. You can actually push this into and make it standard, so when you're above 18,000 feet. Like I said, everything here is set up: flight director, LS, autopilot 1, autopilot 2, approach, auto throttle, and we have the constraint right there. So now we're going to go ahead and set our initial altitude. We'll set it to 5,000. So 5,000 right there. Alright, so now we can go ahead and get back in. We will go ahead and release our parking brakes. Parking brake is released. So I am going to be trying to do this with one foot because I have the camera and all that set up right here in front of me. So we'll go ahead and pull that speed brake arm. We'll lower our flaps. So I have the flap set up. I need to create a speed brake arm button on my T16000 throttle, the Thrustmaster throttle. But I do have the ability to control my speed brakes with my knob that I have there. So we'll go ahead and set that. So as we look, we have the brakes disengaged. You don't even need to look down. You could just look right here and it shows the brakes are disengaged. We'll go ahead and jump back into our autopilot page right here, and we will just go ahead and start our takeoff. We'll set our, I need to create an auto brake max, medium, low button, which you can do. You can have as many pages as you want, and that's why I was saying it was good to have the knob. You can have one of these knobs go cycle through your pages, because you can have like 20 pages of stuff and just use a knob to cycle through everything. You can also use these buttons like I've been using to cycle through pages, but you can also set these buttons up to do other functions, whatever you assign it to, which is a really nice thing about it. Alright, so we have hit V1. Go ahead and pull back. You can go ahead and raise our landing gear, positive rate of climb. And we will just go ahead and cruise at this level. And And once we get up to good speed, I'm going to go ahead and raise the flaps. That should be good. We can go ahead and raise the flaps. And now we're going to go ahead and set our autopilot. So if you look over here, right here, autopilot, I'm going to click the button. Autopilot is engaged. So now we are going to fly to 5,000. We can push in the the altitude, and now it's in manage mode right there. So now it will fly the constraints. So if we set up our constraints, we can hit this button right here and constraints right there. Constraints is now engaged, so now it is going to follow all the constraints that are in our flight plan. We can go ahead and put our throttle to climb. You can also set up climb detents, or all your detents for your thrustmaster, or I mean your Airbus throttles, if you wanted to. You could just literally push a button and it'll go to climb, take off, go around, whatever you want. So we'll click that 6 button. We'll go back to our autopilot page right here. And as you see now, it's climbing and it held at 5,000. So now we can see in our flight plan, if we go to our next constraint is 11,128. So we can just go ahead and set this up for whatever we want. Let's just go to, we'll go to 16,000. We'll go to 17. Actually, let's just go all the way up. We'll go to 28. And we will go ahead and push manage mode. So now it is managed. And now we can go ahead and get back. So we can see now it's climbing again. It's going to go up to 28,000. We're in nav mode. Throttle set to climb. And the altitude will engage when it's at 28,000. And again, you can do the same thing with the speed and the heading. I have the push for the heading, push for the speed, and when you click this in, it's pull for the heading, pull for the speed, pull for the altitude. Which is, it's really nice. Like this little device, man, for $140 you really can't beat it. It's does everything you want it to do. It's a great little device that's very, very powerful. Works all off of MIDI, but you can also have buttons assigned as actual buttons, whatever buttons are available to you. Alright, so we have reached 18,000. We got our QNH flashing down there, so we need to go ahead and set this to standard. Go ahead and click that, and as you see, it has changed the standard right there. We have the STD right there, and it's done it on both pilot and co-pilot side. So again, it's amazing what this thing can do. It's awesome. I am a big fan of this little device, but we will go ahead and try to fast forward this and get to our arrival. And as we wait, we are going to hit our approach, and I'm going to show you how these final 2 buttons will set up our approach, and how we can get it out of the STD mode and tune our altimeter to what it needs to be. So now we see it flashing, so we can go ahead and hit this QNH, and now it brought our QNH back to what we had it set for. So now we just need to check what it is at our arrival. Hit refresh. At 3022. So we can go ahead and turn this knob, and as you see in the QNH, it is turning 3022. Our barometer is turning, and we will go ahead and set that. So it's now 3022 on both pilot and co-pilot side. Again, if we wanted to change our altitude adjustment by 100 or 1,000, I can click this. And if you look on altitude, I click 100. Now it changed it to 100, so I can adjust by 100 feet increments, or I can go back to 1,000, and now it will change back to 1,000 feet increments. So again, this thing is amazing at what it does. We are at 18,000. We should have been lower. So let's go ahead and drop down and see what our next constraint is. We'll just go down to 8,000. So I do have a head tracker. I don't have the track IR. I just use a webcam with AI track, and that's how I do it. So we'll go ahead and set the manage mode again. So as you see in the autopilot, we have the dot 8,000. So we should be descending on our own. And it should keep the constraints that we need to be at. We missed this constraint because I had it set to 18,000. I was talking, not paying attention. Again, this isn't the perfect flight. Just wanted to show this device on how it works. All right, so we have set our altitude to 3,800. We are going to go ahead and engage our landing system. So we will click our landing system button here, and our landing system button turned on. You can see our little magenta triangles, and we can go ahead and hit the approach button as well right here. Approach. And now we have our approach set. So I gotta switch that button around to be lit up once I have it clicked, because as you see it's lit up there, but it's not lit up there. So it's set on a two-way toggle, so I need to switch that. But again, we are coming up to Huxar. We need to be above 5,000, Relin at 3,800. Our speed is down, so we can go ahead and bring our flaps down. So bring our flaps down 1. And at Relin, our speed should be 158. So our localizer is engaged. We're just waiting for our glide slope to get engaged. And as we do that, we can go ahead and turn on our lights. So we might as well just turn on our landing lights. So we'll click that. Our landing lights both turned on. Runway turn off light. Click that. Both turned on. And we'll just get our taxi light ready. And that is on. So now we have all our lights on. We're descending. We are on the path. We just need to get to Relin so the glide slope catches. Speed is at 142, so we can go ahead and turn on our spring brakes, speed brakes a little bit. And Relin 30 at 158. So there's a runway right in front of us. We are just trying to catch that glide slope. We can go ahead and put our second flaps down now. And we should be intercepting that glide slope pretty shortly. We can go ahead and wait till we get to that. Glide slope is caught. So now we can go ahead and lower our landing gear. Landing gear is down. Flaps to full. Gear down. Signs on. Spoilers armed. So I need to create a button for that to arm the spoilers. And my camera battery is dying, so that's going to be the end of this video. But yeah, camera battery died on the little handheld camera, but the video's still going. Everything is set up with this so far. So again, I need to set up buttons for this. We will go ahead and set this up auto brake to low. But as you saw, we set up everything with that little device, and now we are just doing our final approach, and we can move this out of the way since that is done. And again, we can disconnect our autopilot when we need to.
500.
So as we're coming down, I would show you on the camera, but it died. So as you see on the right hand side though, it says AP1 auto throttle. It's green right now, so once we get pretty low, I'm going to go ahead and disengage that, and we can go ahead and land it ourselves. So I don't have headphones on, so I don't know what the altitude is right now, but
50, 40, 30,
coming
20,
in,
10, retard.
give it a little pullback. Autopilot disengaged. Go ahead and reverse thrust. And we can pull our flaps up. I gotta create a button for that master caution. Spoilers down, not armed anymore. Flaps all the way up. We can go ahead and turn off our landing lights with this device again. So we can just hit the landing lights. You see they turned off. Runway turn off lights. And that's about it for that. And then welcome to Las Vegas. So again, we were able to do all of this with just that device. I can't say enough about it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments and want to see other videos, I will be showing you the G1000, the Cessna 172 that I made, and also going over the software on this device and how it works. So if you liked it, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Until next time, fly safe.